Both our countries are linked by close relations and a good partnership. And this is not only true for government-to-government relations, it's also true for relations between both our societies. The economic contacts, the business contacts are good. Kenyan and German companies cooperate closely and our trade unions engage in an exchange. We have scholarship programs, town trainings and comprehensive cultural programs and, of course, a long-standing development cooperation. Kenya is a stable and functioning democracy, and it is a stabilizing factor in a troubled region. For managing crisis in East Africa, Somalia, Ethiopia, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Kenya makes an indispensable contribution. And Germany would like to, even more strongly than before, support Kenya in this part of his. I am confident and convinced that African-led initiatives for peace and stability in Africa will become even more important in the future. This, of course, presupposes support on the part of its international partners, and we talked about this too today. Kenya is active at the international level and relies on multilateralism. Several UN organizations have their main headquarters in Kenya's capital, Nairobi. Together, Kenya and Germany stand up in order to defend the multilateral global order against its opponents. And we both agree that we not only need to defend multilateralism in an effective manner, but also to stand ready to reform it so as to ensure that it is in line with present circumstances. African countries should be more strongly represented at the international level, and Germany expressly supports the efforts underway for a greater African representation on the Security Council of the United Nations and more African seats. Kenya is a genuine climate champion and thus a role model for all of us. Last year, we agreed on a climate and development partnership, and we intend to breathe life into it now. This year, Kenya will be hosting the Africa Climate Action Summit, which is an important preparatory step for COP28, and we would like to support Kenya in this effort. I strongly support and speak out in favor of an interim economic partnership agreement between the European Union and Kenya. Kenyan companies ought to have better access to the European market and should be integrated in fair and sustainable supply chains. And finally, Kenya is the third largest economy in sub-Saharan Africa and in the vanguard of digitization. Such an agreement would be an important interim step on the road to an African free trade area. And here again, we would offer our support. Thank you, Mr. President, for visiting us in Berlin. Again, a very warm welcome to Germany, and I look forward to returning your visit soon, coming to Kenya.